You beautiful people out there, what is going on? This is your friend British coming to fast with another video, and today we are going to be talking about the return of Paragon. 4.5 years later, we have a game called Predecessor, which is the spiritual successor to the game that we all know and loved. And I'm here to tell you all about it, everything you need to know going into this early access that is going to be available starting December 1st on Steam and Epic Games Store. We're going to go through all the details involving that, everything to get you started, as well as my first impressions playing this game in early access. Shout out to Omega Studios for letting me play it early. I do want to give a disclosure. They did not pay me at all to make this video. Okay, this is not a hashtag ad. This is not a hashtag sponsorship. Want me to prove it? Predecessor. I don't actually mean that, but that was just proof that I'm not paid by them. So take this video with a grain of salt. That this is my honest first impression, and I hope you guys can respect that. So you guys are seeing some gameplay, raw, unfiltered gameplay in the background as I'm talking to you about it. For those of you who have missed all of my videos on this channel, if this is your very first time seeing one of my videos, I'm just going to do a very quick summary of how Predecessor came to be. You guys all remember Paragon shut down 2018. Epic Games shut it down. They were trying to filter more manpower towards Fortnite at the time. And when they shut down the game, they released all of their assets for free. There's like millions and millions and millions dollars worth of assets just released for free to the public to use on Unreal Engine. And so this company, Omega Studios, took those assets and started making their own version of Paragon to succeed what we've all been missing. A couple of years of development down the line, they've had multiple closed tests, they've showcased some things, they've had roadmaps, and at this point, they've gotten the attention of some pretty big investors, including some people over from old teams of Xbox, some people who used to work on Riot Games, on League of Legends, just a lot of big name investors. And long story short, they raised over $20 million in investing funding to continue funding this game. And that was, I forget the exact details, but that was about half a year ago, maybe, roughly. This is just going straight off of raw memory here. And now they're coming out with a closed access, early access that you guys could pay into, just like you could with Paragon's Founders Packs. Remember the $20 one, $40 one, $80 They have the same one here, as you guys can see here on the screen in front of you. You can get all of these cool things for supporting them early on in this early access game. If you guys don't want to pay the money right now, later on this game will be free, but I mean, if you're a big fan of Paragon as I am, you're probably going to get in on this, especially with the 50% off during the first 2 weeks when it starts December 1st. So, another question I want to just get out of the way, is it coming to console? Eventually, yes. It's going to come to PlayStations. It's probably even going to come to Xbox. There's rumors about that, but it's going to be a while. They want to make sure their game is really good and really polished on PC before they port it over to consoles, but they are building their team and they have specific branches in their teams working on that as we speak. So don't worry, it is coming eventually, but first it's coming to PC. So there's your answer to that. And so yeah, what happened after 4.5 years of Paragon dying? Well, they came out with this game called Predecessor, which is awesome. I'll tell you right now, it is awesome. It has been the fan favorite out of the multiple post-Paragon projects that have been covered on this channel extensively. Some of them don't exist anymore. Some of them are not up to par, in my opinion. And this one is the one that's truest to form. You've got big hitter YouTuber RGS Ace, for those of you who remember him. He's now the CEO of Omega Studios. You've got Nabori on board as a community manager. You've got Steve Superville himself, who was the creator, essentially, of Paragon, the father of Paragon, who worked on the legacy version of Paragon before he was exiled out of Epic Games. And you've also got people like Sundown, who used to work at Epic Games, working on this project as well. So a lot of manpower behind it, a lot of recognizable names and faces, which gives me a lot of hope that this game is going to go pretty far. Now, enough about that. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about, is this game like Paragon? And first and foremost, I want to say it feels like Paragon. It does. It really does. It still needs some polish. Absolutely. There are some bugs. There's some funny interactions with Drongo's ability, which is a silence, and some stuff like Grux's pull, where you'll activate Grux's pull, but then right as the animation finishes and all the sound effects go off and you think you pulled them in, you actually get silenced and nothing happens. It's a little jarring, and that's just an example of some of the polish that this game still needs. But overall, for an early access game made by a studio that was just like 5 people not too long ago, this game runs pretty damn smooth. I'm not gonna lie, it runs pretty smooth, and I can see myself playing this game every day. It's enough of a playable game for me to actually play it. I remember Paragon back in the early access founder packs days, and the game also had some glitches and it wasn't smooth, and all of the character models weren't even in yet. The jungle minions looked like gummy bears, or Prime looked like a giant pink gummy bear, for those of you who remember it. So this feels pretty good in retrospect and in comparison. I think you guys are going to like it if you try it out. It definitely feels the most polished that it has been up to this point. The server stability is really good. I didn't experience any latency or severe lag. I didn't experience rubber banding. Everything was just smooth. When I clicked things, they worked. I was able to ability cancel, which means I could use an auto attack and then weave it with an ability and then use another attack and then weave it in with an ability, and everything was very seamless. I was also able to cancel abilities mid-swing by just using an auto attack. Specifically when I was playing like with Crunch. By the way, Crunch is in the game right off the bat on release of Early Access, and he feels great too. Early Access comes with 20 heroes for you to play right off the bat, as well as more coming along the way once every month, they promised. And they also have original heroes in the works, one of which is Huntress, who has already been showcased in their trailer and looks pretty cool. She's an 80 carry. We'll see how she plays. But they're trying to get as many of your Paragon favorites back into the game as well. So if you miss somebody, you don't see him here yet, they'll probably be showing up later. The game is really fun. They changed the map. It's not the same maps that you remember from Paragon. It's different enough from Monolith, but it also will feel a bit similar in that regard. You still have your Raptor objective. You still have Orb Prime. You have a mini version of Orb Prime that gives the buff to one person. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and it just plays like you would expect a MOBA to play. You have the original item system of most MOBAs that you know of. So it's like an item shop like in League of Legends, where you buy components and you build them up to the final mega item that has a really good passive or a really good active, and then you do that throughout the game. There's also elixirs that you can buy when you're maxed out on items that will give you temporary stat buffs. And there are 3 actives. You also have your starting item, which is your crest, which is an active. You have a slot specifically for a potion or consumables, and you have a slot for your ward. So it's, gives you a lot of versatility to throw into those slots, which is really nice to have a definitive consumable slot as well as a ward trinket slot, so to speak. Definitely big fan of that. It's fun. This game is subject to change, so if you're watching this multiple months down the line and the game looks different or feels different, that's why it's still in early access. But the game feels really solid. I mean, everything you expect. There have been character changes. Decker has a reworked kit. Kalari has 2 daggers now instead of 1, and so on and so forth. You guys can check it out for yourselves, see all the differences, watching streams, watching my streams, watching gameplay videos all across YouTube. There are plenty of people who have put out predecessor videos today. Today was a big release day for that. So definitely check everything out and see what you guys like about it and give it a shot. You could always refund it on Steam within 2 hours of buying the game. So definitely play a few games. They also have an AI mode for you to practice in if you're absolutely brand new, which is really nice. And they're coming out with more modes in the future. Early access is a little bare bones. It doesn't have a ranked mode. It doesn't even have a shop yet for you to buy skins. But if you buy one of these packs, you'll get some skins bundled in there to start you off with. So, yeah, I mean, overall, first impressions, the game is fun, man. If you're a fan of Paragon, I think you're going to really enjoy this game. It's not without its flaws, but it's a whole lot of fun. And what I will say is, Omega Studios listen. I mean, they really listen. Throughout the timeline of this game's making, they listen a lot to the feedback of the community in their Discord channels, on the Twitch streams, on social sites, on Reddit, everywhere. they really listened and definitely had a great, they took it in stride, and they might not have listened to every single thing, but they listened to the most important things so far. And if they keep this up, I can see this game lasting a very long time with all of our support. So if you guys do enjoy what you see here, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what hero you guys are going to play first in the early access. And as always, make sure to have a wonderful day. Peace.